Well, while editing this video, I realized that, let's just say I haven't been putting on a happy face all the time. But in this particular time, please be aware of the fact that although I tend to be a rather serious-looking individual, that I'm not taking myself too seriously. This is my, if you prefer, this is sort of my anti-gear video. So please enjoy and stay safe. Be careful. Hi there. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that, as a casual photographer, as a non-professional, as an amateur, I think I've run out of titles, but since I am not a full-time professional photographer, and since I rarely do any work that is for pay, and that all of my images basically are for me to keep, to share online, occasionally to print in larger formats, whatever, my images. So the result is that I've started to take a very different look at gear. Now, anybody who's been following me for a while knows that, for quite a period there, I was talking a lot about GAS, about Gear Acquisition Syndrome. Well, I think I've mostly gotten over that because for the last year or so, my only acquisitions were lenses, and they were quality lenses that made a difference to my photography. One was a travel lens, a 14 to 150 millimeter, quite a nice lens, got at a very good price. The other was a far more professional lens, a 12 to 40 f2.8, and that leads me to the next step. In Stanley Kubrick's movie Full Metal Jacket, there is a scene where there is a comparison made that I'm not going to relate here right now, but the end of the comparison was, this is for work, this is for fun. This is for work. If somebody asks me to take some images for them, or if I am going somewhere that I know is basically a photographic outing, this is what I will take. I will take other lenses with it. I will take the rather excellent 50 to 200 4/3 lens with a Lumix adapter that allows me to use it on this camera, and possibly some of my Sigma primes. So this is my serious camera. I don't work as a photographer, but when I am serious about my photography, this is what I reach for. I have two of those bodies, by the way. However, more and more often, this little bag here represents everything I reach for. This is it. It's a nice little bag. It's a low pro, a Format 140, an older model, designed, I think, primarily for video cameras. I bought it at a used shop for $1.50. In my $1.50 bag, I have my fun camera. Yes, it's old. I mean, right now, I think it's coming up on its 10th birthday. It is an Olympus EPL-1. I have on it an EVF. It is the lowest resolution EVF. Basically, all I need it for is framing and confirming where my focus is. This particular EVF is the VF3. The VF2 is higher resolution, earlier model, however it didn't lock on like this one does. And the VF4 is much larger and a much higher quality, but again, far more expensive. So I have this. On it for a lens, I have a 25mm f1.7 Lumix. You notice there is no lens hood. However, I have a filter on it. And I know, I'm the guy that says don't bother with filters, but this is my fun camera. This goes with me all sorts of places. I want to be able to wipe off the lens anytime at all with, a napkin or a t-shirt or whatever. And to add a little protection, there is a 46 to 49 millimeter adapter here, because I do have some 49 millimeter accessories that I can now put on this lens. But that complicates things. What do I really have? I have a very simple 12 megapixel camera. It's got a very good metering system. The autofocus is acceptable. It's not great, but it's not that bad, especially with newer lenses that tend to focus more quickly anyway. The image quality is very good. High ISO will give you noise, so it is not going to be the ideal camera for low light, but with the faster lens, I get acceptable results for my purposes. Quite often, if I'm shooting in low light, it's something that's going to be going to black and white anyway. And a little bit of noise on a black and white image, as long as the noise is film grain-like, is not an issue. The result, this little camera is my camera of choice. And as an added little bonus, it has a pop-up flash that can be tilted, so I can bounce it in small spaces. The whole thing, as I said, fits in this little bag. Also in this little bag are 3 spare batteries, other than the one that's in the camera. That gives me 4. 2 more memory cards if I need them. In the bottom of the bag, there is a 9 millimeter body clap lens, fisheye lens, that is just for fun, and a card reader to work with my little Samsung tablet. So this goes in the bag. It's the only camera I have a long strap like this on. The bag looks like this. I even have a charger and an adapter for the 12-volt car plug in the bag with it. Everything I need. Now, here's the key word, need. This is what I want. This is a camera I love to use. However, by Micro Four Thirds standards, it's with this lens, it is fairly hefty. Nowhere near what I was used to before, but still fairly hefty. Fairly large. And in terms of image quality, yes, this will give me a better image at high ISO in particular. However, the difference for me is usually not enough to warrant it. So, this goes with me when I'm on a photo outing. That goes with me the rest of the time. Well, folks, I don't know if this is of any use at all, but let me point out to you. As a hobbyist, as a photographer who is shooting for the joy of it, simplicity has become more and more important to me as time goes on. I go back and I look through my images, and the days that I took a lot of gear with me and went somewhere, and then I look at the pictures I have, and then a day that I go somewhere and take something simple like one camera, one lens, and look at the images from there, astoundingly, I find that the one camera, one lens images tend to be more interesting. And I think it's just because I spend more time thinking about the image and less time thinking about the gear. And guys, that's the biggest issue with gear acquisition syndrome. It's not how it saps your bank account. It's not how it fills up your shelves. It's how it debilitates you as a photographer, because suddenly you are more concerned with, am I using the right lens, than how can I get the best image here? So, give that some serious thought. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this. I know a lot of people say, take all the gear you can, use all the gear, take all the possibilities, and I salute you. Unfortunately, when I try doing that, I end up just carrying around a bag of stuff that slows me down or totally prevents me from getting images where I should have been able to. All right, folks. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like. If you'd like to see more of my videos, then of course subscribe to this channel. And if you think anybody's going to get anything useful from this particular video, then share it. Bye for now.